All right, folks, welcome back to the Crisis Report. It is October 27th, 2025. This one is talking about some stuff that's going on in Africa. I have seen it. It's important what's going on, but with all the other things going on, it's kind of periphery. So tonight it took a turn. It took a turn in a way that, well, it's bad, and it's just now starting to get covered, and so it has turned the corner. It has gone from being something that was kind of a side thing that was terrible. Don't get me wrong, but it was happening, and it's evil and bad, but it's localized to this area. But now, what is going on is just it'll turn your stomach. I'll put it to you that way. And so I'm just gonna start to talk about it. Actually, Scrappy, I haven't had a chance to check them out. I'll tell you what. At the end, I will look at them and we will go through them. So this is it's I don't know. I'm just gonna go through it. There's all kinds of other stuff. There's Venezuela. There's the Middle East. There's Eastern Europe. The usual suspects are all going to be well represented. Don't get me wrong. But what is going on and is starting to take place in the Sudan? It's just ratcheted up in a way that is really, really awful. So let's get started on your crisis report for October 27th, 2025. We're brought to you by Augusta Precious Metals. They take your IRA and your 401k and they put it into gold and silver. And with so much going on, a lot of people are considering this. It's a retirement style. It's not you just taking your money and they just buy it for you. They take your retirement and do it properly in a way that you can invest in. Link is in the description should you care to check that further. Okay. Let's get started with the crisis report. This one, of course, we had to code, if you will, and I will be. But we will, the Substack, where you can get all this for free, still loitering around 500 plus subscribers. We get them, they go away. It's a service. Yeah, I see it as a service. If you want to see all this stuff going on and you want the links so you can follow it further, have it. Okay. You sign up for the Substack. It doesn't cost anything. And it is what it is. So if you don't want to do it, okay, you can sign up and unsign up. But over 500 people are signed up and they get this into their email every day. Here's a beautiful thing. I love when people get mad at emails. I've probably deleted a couple million, if not billion emails in my lifetime. Deleting an email is probably the most easy thing you're going to do in your day. So if you get this, you don't want to check it out, hit delete, sign up for it. If you want to get it, great. It's here and it'll take you to where everything's going. That's why we show it here and we do it here. So if you want to go further, so there it is. All right. I would like people to sign up. As we saw yesterday, and you saw my, making fun of stuff video of cats going on. Vast majority of people don't know really just how precarious and terrible things are. And that's not a doomer thing. It's like a reality thing. Maybe it's because I teach history for a living. I don't know. But I can tell you this. Things that are going on right now are about as bad as it's been for quite some time. Sure, you're still feeding yourself. You're still going to work, whatever. But there are really terrible things going on out there in the world, and knowing this stuff might just give you a little bit of a leg up before. So take it for what it's worth. Let's get started on your crisis report, October 27th, 2025. Leading UFO tracker app has logged thousands of reports of unidentified submersible objects, or USOs, near United States waterways, prompting officials to warn that they may pose a national security risk. I don't know about you, but if there's something lurking in the waterways around my area, and it might be of a I don't know, foreign nation, they can do some pretty interesting things. Go look up the Poseidon, which is Russia's coast killer, as they call it. So, yeah, there's things out there lurking. Doesn't mean live paranoid. Doesn't mean live in terror. It means you understand what's going on. You get this information. You take what it is, and you get ready for some bad crap coming. London police have begun using first responder drones for the first time to answer emergency calls and reach crime scenes faster. The drones will be deployed to gather intelligence and assess situations before officers arrive. Venezuela has captured a CIA-backed mercenary group accused of plotting a false flag operation in the waters near Trinidad and Tobago. A lot going on up there in those waters. Candace Owens has released 2018 text messages between her and Charlie Kirk, where he predicted his own takeout. President Trump and Japan's Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi officially signed a landmark deal to secure rare earths and critical minerals, marking a major step toward cutting dependence on China. President Trump and Japan's Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi officially signed we got that one. It's a doubler. Starmer and Erdogan signed deal for Turkey to purchase 20 Eurofighter Typhoon fighter jets for 8 billion sterling, or $10.7 billion. Amazon is going to cut as many as 30,000 corporate jobs beginning on Tuesday. Trump administration is going to give Mexico's Sheinbaum a few more weeks to meet demands to avoid a 30% tariff. Paramount is going to cut 1,000 jobs Wednesday in a first round of layoffs. OpenAI says over 1 million people talk to ChatGPT about self-harm weekly. Next Era Energy partners with Google is going to revive the Duane Arnold nuclear plant in Iowa to support Google's expanding cloud and AI services. Trump has introduced Japan's newly elected prime minister to his delegation in Tokyo, Japan. Trump thanks Japan's first female prime minister for placing a very large amount of new military equipment orders with the United States. Trump and Japanese Prime Minister have signed military and trade deals after bilateral meeting. 6.1 magnitude earthquake hits western Turkey with tremors felt to Istanbul and other cities, the country's emergency agencies have said. Japan's Prime Minister warns of mass devastation from approaching Hurricane Melissa. Google is going to restart a new U.S. nuclear power plant, AI infrastructure. U.S. Navy this weekend moved 1,000 non-essential personnel, family members, residents, and pets from Naval Station Guantanamo Bay ahead of Hurricane Melissa. Elon Musk has launched Grokpedia, a Wikipedia competitor. There's a mystery as dogs are spotted roaming around the site of the Chernobyl nuclear disaster. They're turning blue, baffling the caretakers. President Trump is pushing Gulf countries like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Qatar to fund Gaza's $70 billion reconstruction, but they remain hesitant. Each wants guarantees that conflict and won't resume, the conflict won't resume, and influence over Gaza's future governance. Saudi Arabia faces budget limits from low oil prices and avoids blank checks. UAE wants political clarity, Hamas fully disarmed and reformed Palestinian Authority, and Qatar seeks proof Israel will honor the peace deal and wants a say in Gaza's political future. 2 B-1B strategic bombers of the United States Air Force spotted over the Caribbean Sea, flying near the Dominican Republic. Both departed from Grand Forks Air Base in North Dakota. Argentine television, they continue analyzing how La Libertad Avanza was able to get 14 points in Buenos Aires in 50 days between the September election and last night's election. A lot of people there are saying he cheated or whatever. I'm not saying I know anything about it. I'm just saying that if you don't like him, you're saying that he did evil stuff. If you do like him, you think it's the greatest thing ever. Typical. Now it's what we have in our world, where rich bastards have made it so you can't even like believe what you believe. So, excuse me. So here it is on the Sudan thing. Okay, I got to go slowly to code, and there was graphic footage. I, of course, am not sharing that here, but this is bad. So, Sudan's civil war has entered one of its most dangerous phases, with the UAE-backed rapid support forces tightening control across much of the Darfur region. RSF seized most of Al Fasher, the last major army-held city in Darfur. Months of siege and urban combat. City's fall marks a decisive shift in the conflict, giving the RSF strategic dominance in western Sudan and threatening to formalize the country's de facto partition between RSF and army-controlled zones. Fighters of the Rapid Support Forces, RSF, have captured the HQ of the Muslim Brotherhood-linked Sudanese Armed Forces 271st Air Defense Brigade, last stronghold of the Sudanese military junta in Al Fasher, North Darfur State. SAF troops, backed by Iran, Turkey, Egypt, and Russia, have now retreated to their remaining positions within the city's residential areas. In this takeover, dozens of people were executed, hospitals and clinics looted, and thousands of civilians fled the city. In the nearby Bara area of North Kordofan, the RSF also did mass executions and looting following seizure of the area since Saturday, October 25th. The footage is as terrible as you could ever expect. Darfur, of course, is no stranger to this whole thing. 20-some years ago, of course, they were embroiled in this as well. Just know that this is happening. You've got the Sudanese armed forces, they are the Iran, Turkey, Egypt, and Russia, and then there are the rapid support forces. If I remember let me see if I can tell you, okay? If I remember correctly, RSF is, yeah. All right, hold on. All right, here we go. The RSF grew out of and is primarily composed of the Janjaweed militia, yes, that's her name, Janjaweed militias, which previously fought on behalf of the Sudanese government. RSF has been administered by the National Intelligence and Security Service, while during military operations, it has been commanded by the Sudanese Armed Forces. So, clear as mud. So I'm trying to find a nice, clear answer. Here we go. This is a simple guide to what is happening. Sudan plunged into a civil war in April 2023 after a vicious struggle. Power broke out between its army and powerful paramilitary group, the Rapid Support Forces. It's led to a famine and claims of what we now know is going on of G&N0SIDE, Western Darfur. More than 150,000 people have died in the conflict across the country, and about 12 million have fled their homes in what the United Nations has called the world's largest humanitarian crisis. And that is from July of 2025. So it's bad, and it's getting worse. So you're going to probably start to hear about it more. Which is why you're hearing about it now here, because you'll hear it here first, and then people start talking about it. Same as it ever was. But don't worry, I'll get my allotted 500 to 600 views by Borgarino over here. Hopefully you enjoyed the cat videos earlier. My apologies for giving a crap about rando people a world away in Sandville. United States Navy evacuated 1,000 people, including family members and pets, from the Guantanamo Naval Base ahead of the imminent arrival of Hurricane Melissa, and ABC has reported. Telegram user, quote, @devil, that's his username, sold by 555,555 ton coin, which is the equivalent of $1.23 million. United Kingdom and Turkey have signed an $8 billion sterling deal for 20 Eurofighter Typhoons, biggest British fighter export in 20 years, expected in 2030. Senator Lindsey Graham said that Bush 41 took down Panama's Ortega because he was involved in drug trafficking. Now Trump sees Venezuela and Colombia as direct threats to our country. We will use military force like we have in the past, he said. Probably had a hard on when he said it. United States Ambassador to NATO, Matt Whitaker, said we expect Hungary, Turkey, and Slovakia to plan an exit from Russian oil and gas. Satellite images show China upgrading military bases near India. Large surface-to-air missile systems can now launch from inside reinforced shelters with sliding roofs. Those shelters provide better protection from airstrikes, satellites, and drone attacks. Venezuela, something will happen soon. Some internal or external event. That is from Republican Senator Rick Scott. He urged President Maduro to go to Russia or China. If I were Maduro, I would go to Russia or China right now because his days are numbered. Something has to happen, some internal or external event. I think something has to happen, Scott said. At the time, he doubts that the U.S. will invade Venezuela. I don't think so. If it happens, I will be surprised, Senator replied to the host's question. He stated that America will take care of the Western Hemisphere of freedom and democracy. In particular, he implied that something similar could happen to Cuba. It will be the end for Cuba, he said. America's newest and most advanced aircraft carrier, USS Gerald Ford, departed Split, Croatia, en route to Southcom after the carrier strike group crossed the Atlantic. About 20% roughly of the deployed U.S. Navy fleet will be in the theater. Scientists who discovered a new species of butterfly has named it after Arynia Zarutska to ensure, quote, she is never forgotten. Scientists said her name will be forever immortalized as a butterfly. Butterfly is called Arynias azure. This, of course, is the person who was taken out on the commuter train in Charlotte by DeCarlos Brown, if I remember his name correctly. And why I know his name is sad in its own right. May God have mercy on his soul. But at least, I got to tell you, that's one of the coolest stories I've read probably all week. This one's pretty cool too. Archaeologists find 2,000-year-old gemstones in a drain beneath a Roman bathhouse in Carlisle, England. Down a drain beneath the murky waters of an ancient Roman bathhouse in Carlisle, England, near Hadrian's Wall, archaeologists have discovered a trove of gemstones lost by bathers 2,000 years ago. More than 30 gems, including amethyst, jasper, and carnelian, have been found so far during excavations at the site. Wealthy bathers likely dropped them back in opulent bathhouse heyday in the 2nd and 3rd century. And that is AD, not CE, AD. Putin says Russia successfully tested the 9M730 Berezvnik SSC X-9 Skyfall. It is a nuclear-capable intercontinental cruise missile with theoretical unlimited range and the ability to evade missile defense. Missile flew for 15 hours, or 14,000 kilometers. Putin says that there is literally no match to it, no analogs in the world. Native British births are now making up less than 310,000 of 567,000 in England as of 2024, while they make up 725,000 of 804,000 in 1966. That shows how far things have fallen. Steep fall. The TFR of the Britons probably is at 1.4. That is not replacement. They are screwed. Joint U.S. Trinidad and Tobago military exercises have begun as a pair of MV-22B Ospreys were seen operating in the west of the country. United States Air Force B-1B bombers were spotted a few dozen kilometers away from Caracas, capital of Venezuela. Two B-1B strategic bombers of the United States Air Force sent a hello for the Chavista elites and their Iranian guests by passing near the La Margarita Island. And two B-1B strategic bombers of the United States Air Force turned off their transponders as they finished their flyover near the La Margarita Islands. It's coming. That, my friends, is your crisis report for October 27th, 2025. We'd really like to thank Borgarino for not sending out any notifications, telling no one, not providing a hype button, and doing everything in its absolute power to try to hurt this channel. Why? Like, what is the point? We'll never know. Whatever. All right, let's go to Scrappy. Here we go, Scrappy. I got you, girl. All right. Goes into email. Finds email. Looking for your email. In here. There we go. Okay, I got you. I believe the first one is from last night. This one is entitled Gavin. Newsom is facing backlash over claims he was so poor while growing up he had to eat white bread and mac and cheese. However, critics are pointing out that his family was tied to the Getty Empire, which is correct. He's also a relative of Nancy Pelosi. He went to private schools in rich neighborhoods and was given heavy investments into his business ventures and political career by the Gettys. California Governor Newsom feeling the heat after talking about the childhood hardship on All the Smoke NBA podcast, where he describes scraping by on Wonder Bread and macaroni and cheese. Critics quick to call California governor out for his alleged lying seem more for relatable to his audience, pointing to Newsom's well-documented ties to the San Francisco wealthiest dynasties. His early years in San Francisco's Marina District, saying he raised himself, struggled financially, mocked for talking of an urban tone, and using slang like bro and man. He's a politician. He lies. So, wow. And then he said, Gavin debuts his hip-hop persona on the NBA. I love it. It was about paying the bills, man. Hustling. I raised myself. Wonder bread and mac and cheese. That's how I grew up, bro. His dad was attorney for the billionaire Getty family. And then from there, Scrappy has got, looks like a whole bunch of food stamps could be paid. Hold on. There it is. Let me find it. There we go. Newsom, California, is demolishing and rebuilding the state capitol annex with, of course, taxpayer money, which it says looks like a whole bunch of food stamps could be paid with that. Wait till you hear about what's going on, and on the budget, over $1 billion of your money took away, or look away as you always do. So that's for you, Scrappy. You are in the wonderful People's Republic of California. I am in the wonderful People's Republic of Marylandistan, a place so wonderful nobody wants to move here. Funny that way. But we'll get through it. Hey, thank you. Sorry, I've just been super busy. I haven't even checked my email. So I appreciate it. And I appreciate you, Scrappy. You know that. Scrappy, I think, is my second longest mod. I think Mayberry is my longest. She doesn't come around often, but she'll text me every once in a while. But yeah, I heard one time that Wonder Bread has 5 cockroaches in it. I hope that's wrong. They like grind it all up, and there's usually about 3 to 5 cockroaches per loaf of bread. Take that one with you. All right, friends, that is your crisis report for October 27th, 2025. Ohio Valley Prepping, I saw your comment. Yes, we're going to do a live stream at some point. I'm going to try and get some of the smaller channels. Not that you're small, but like, people that need more views from Borgarino. It is what it is, folks. So go out there and kiss your whatever and be thankful you're not living over in Sudan because it's rough. So God bless you guys. I will see you on the next one. Thanks for being here. We are brought to you by Augusta Precious Metals. We have other places you can go like Twitter and X and Minds and Gab and True Social and Subscribestar and Locals. I put some stuff in there. I put the expanded article on the gemstones on Locals and Subscribestar. It's a couple few bucks a month there. Maybe you want to become a member here like Dum Dum Policy or Bacon Freak or Scrappy. I appreciate you. Tenna Grover, thank you guys so much for being members. Bad Bobber, of course. Gene W. All you guys. Really appreciate you all for keeping the lights on. It's been a bit of a trudge here in the old land of the Borg, but we're gonna not stop. I will. If you know one thing about me, I am a freaking fighter. I'm not going anywhere. So, from a cold, dead YouTube, love you all. Fingers. We will see you on the next one. God bless.